In this video, we're going to talk about how to get users to type stuff into your program so that it's a lot more interactive and not just reading stuff that's being printed to the screen. If you haven't watched parts 1, 2, and 3 of the basic Python lessons, I recommend you go and do that now, otherwise you've missed some really important basic lessons before we move on to the advanced stuff that we're going to do now. So in this program, I've got a variable called word, and I've given it the value of cat. What I would like to do now is get somebody to guess what that word is, and later on I would like to check whether their guess was right or wrong. So in this case, what we're going to do is make another variable and call it my guess, and we're going to use a new command called input, like so. Open up the brackets and a quotation mark like this, and say, what word am I thinking of? Question mark, like that. And what's going to happen when I press run is that the Python console is going to actually ask you that question I typed in there, which is, what word am I thinking of? Now, obviously, I can write anything here and press enter, and nothing happens because, of course, my program ends after this line. So at this moment, what I've got going on is I've set a word, which is cat, made a new variable called my guess, which is the guess that the user is going to make, and then just asked a question. So whenever you write input bracket and then write some text, it will put that text on the screen and wait for you to type something and then press enter. Now what we want to do is we need to check whether the word I typed is the same word that the computer has in this word variable over here. And how we're going to use this is by using the if command, which is in programming like the most important thing you're going to learn, because of course we need to check whether somebody is pressing a key or typing a word, or all those things that our program has to do to see if the user is doing something or not. All has to go inside an if command. If commands in Python work something like this. We're going to say if my guess is equal to word colon. Now let's just go through that very quickly. If is basically asking a question, is something happening or not? In this case, I'm saying, is my guess, the thing that the user typed in, equal to or the same as the variable word, which is cat? Now notice I put two equal signs. In programming, most of the time, two equal signs is your way of saying, can you check if it's the same as? Whereas equals, just the single one, says it is. So in this case, word is cat, and my guess is whatever this person types. So two equal signs is really checking, is it the same as? So what we're doing here is, if my guess is the same as word, I press enter, and you notice that my terminal over here has already put a space from the left hand side to there, and this is vital because if you don't have this space, Python breaks, and we'll show you that in a second. So if my guess is the same as word, I would like to print you guessed the word, like so, and exclamation marks there. And of course we need an alternative, that is, if you don't guess the right answer, we need a message to say you didn't get the right answer. So what we're going to do is go here and write an else, print like so. So there we have our game, which is still a very simple game. We have a word that's stored in this variable over here. We have a guess that's stored in the my guess variable. We then check if the word and my guess are the same word. If it is, you get a message that says you guessed the word, and if it's not, you guessed wrong. So let's just run that and see what happens. So in this case, I'm going to write the word dog, and it says you guessed wrong. Let's run that again, and this time write cat, and you can see it works. So what happens if I do this and run? You don't really have to guess everything, but basically what it's saying is Python line 6, this line over here, print, you guessed the word, indentation error expected an indented block. Basically, it's saying on line 6, I expected you to press the tab on your keyboard and push the text in a little bit. And a lot of people make that mistake. Well, that's a really quick lesson into how to use the if command to check whether a user has typed something correct or not, or basically to check anything in a program. So you're going to be using a heck of a lot of if commands in your programs from now on.